People, Deluded, I'm back again. Quick one. Now, Maitland-Niles has changed agencies, and the only way I came across this is because I follow a lot of these agencies on Instagram, just because, you know, I follow everybody in football and stuff like that. Now, again, I'm not too clued up on it, but he signed for Colossal Sports, the Colossal agency. I think they've got Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think they really recently signed Leon Bailey. Guy that used to play for my team that I've done an interview with, Tariq of Chelsea. They've got big players on their books, people. Big players, big players, big young players, big established players. The ball, they're called Colossal. You're gonna want them in it. Eddie and Ketia could be with them as well, but I'm not too sure on that. In fact, I think I'm wrong on that. That one, I think he's with Bonsu. So I'm not too sure, but you know, if you're not with, you know, there's the Colossals, there's the Bases, there's the Unique Sports Manager, USM. There's many of these agencies. Now, Maitland-Niles swapped agents. I don't want to speculate, because he could have swapped agencies for a variety of reasons. Just because you swap agents, obviously transfers is one thing, but you could have made it for a variety of reasons, people. He could just feel his current existing relationship isn't there. He could feel, you know, other agents could do any other things for him, because let's not forget, it's not just dealing with your club contracts. There's other sponsorships and other things like that. There's also other, you know, being a footballer, what people don't understand about a lot of agencies, they have a lot of player services, people, where there's literally people that wait hand on foot for players in relation to what they could ask. And I've spoken with them. They could ask for random stuff. I've heard one about toilet paper. I've heard one begging someone to go to Holland to go and get something and bring it back. A toy for a kid. There's a lot of it is to deal with, especially for foreign players, a lot of the player services tends to be around, you know, the wife and the family, and, you know, finding a school and you know, all of these sort of things. So there's a lot that goes into it. So obviously Maitland-Niles is from England and stuff, but what I'm saying is, you can't just say, just because while I don't necessarily believe that, just because he's changed agents doesn't mean, you know, leaving Arsenal, move is getting done and things. So we need to be careful. That is it. But my belief now, let's move from the fence. I think he's off. I think he's off at Arsenal because, you know what, I don't know what it is. I don't know the full story. I hear Arteta come out and more or less indirectly say he needs to do more in training, but Arteta's also bigged him up. So what is it with Maitland-Niles? I don't want to say, is he not motivated, he's got bad attitude, he's got this, he's got that. I don't know what it is. I just hope one day, whether it's at Arsenal or not, the penny drops and he realises, do I want to be just coasting my football career, or do I want to, you know, look back in my career and feel like I've accomplished something? There's no if I just done this, if I just done that, and that might probably burst. The bubble will be burst when he leaves Arsenal. You get it. And that could, you know, he's been someone linked with, he's been someone that signed a new deal recently, bigged up, but he's someone that's become a forgotten man, really and truly. He's someone that at 20 odd years of age, he's getting on where he needs to play on a regular basis and play in a kind of fixated position in which it might not be here. Obviously, he's been linked with a move away to raise funds, 20 million and such. And maybe, you know, obviously getting a new agent could be the bulk of that. And I know certain people love Maitland-Niles, certain people be happy if he goes. For me, I'm not going to cry if he leaves. Of course, I'm only going to cry if it's Martinelli and Saka. But I do think there's a player in that lad. I do think he has a future in central midfield. I do think equally he could have a future at right back and be a good right back. But, you know, we've got to be cruel to be kind and stuff like that. And it would be disappointing because, you know me, I'll never miss a chance to big up Highland players and stuff like that. And to be fair, even if he doesn't, he's been a success. He's broke through. He's played numerous times for Arsenal Football Club. You know, for Arsenal, if you make 20 million on him, you know, how much does it cost the academy to run? Like 2-3 million a year. You know, you've paid that a couple of times over. Do you get it? It'll be quite sad because I think he deserves a chance in midfield. But, you know, I've seen other players, Mustafi, Eddie, Joe, all these players allegedly get that. Based on what Arteta says about training well and stuff, obviously train well and get their opportunities. And Maitland hasn't got that. Pardon me, and I know Arteta isn't going to publicly come out and say things if it could be to get a reaction, but isn't going to say it if it gets to that point. So only God, Maitland and the club know what's going on with him. He's someone who Darren Burgess alerted and said, yo, we've got this guy, head of performance at a point, said this guy could be something for us in midfield. He was someone name dropped by Emery. He's someone that's been around in the first team for a while, went on loan to Ipswich at like 17. He's someone I believe in a lot. I think he can have a good future. I'm not here to say a man's going to be world class and these things, because I don't believe that. I do believe he could be a decent player for Arsenal, but you know, it is what it is. You know, sympathy. The game ain't based on sympathy. If you're not doing your job, you're not doing your job. And to be honest, I think, you know, I look at Joe Willock and I love Joe, but I see Joe get chances in midfield. I can't understand why Maitland doesn't, because I can't see what Joe brings that Maitland doesn't in midfield to a degree. Yes, they're different players, and please do not take that as a disrespect to Joe. But clearly Joe is doing something in training that Maitland isn't. So, like I said, I don't want to speculate on a man leaving and things like that just because he's changed his agent. But, you know, changing agent, surely that means you're trying to get a move. Because as you lot know, depending on who your agent is, you can get a lot of you can get a different moves, and you can get a lot of bad moves. A lot of, like, I can't talk too tough, but there's a certain player that went on loan, and it looked all good and stuff, and the loan didn't, at our club, and the loan didn't work out. The loan didn't work out, and the club said the loan isn't going to work out. The player didn't quite believe in it, but the agent pushed with it. Why? Because the agent is pally with the club that the guy went on loan at, and it didn't work out. And it was you know, I'm not going to speculate on the duration of the loan, but it didn't work out. So, you know, your agents can make things happen for you. Ever thought why you've never seen a player and thought, you get a move there? You're a bit bewildering. Or thought, this player is good, why is he still here? It's more time, it's agents, you know. Agents have to be able to do something for you. But that's for another day and another time, and there's nothing more for me to speak about, so I'm not going to bore you lot any more of my waffle. All I'm going to do is, you know, give thanks to you guys for persisting with my videos and my batch of videos. Please like, comment, subscribe, and do the rest, people. On that note, Deluded, I'm out.